Today we're going to be looking at the PPP loan forgiveness and how simple it is now, especially with the SBA portal. We're going to be going directly inside it so you can see what it is and how it looks. Let's dive in. Hi, I'm Tyler from the Rideshare Guy. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the PPP loan forgiveness and how simple a process that is to get your loan forgiven, especially for drivers who got a loan of less than $150,000, which is going to be 99.999% of us got less than 150,000 PPP loans. So let's look at that. We're going to look at exactly my initial thoughts when I got into the portal. I'm going to give a little background on everything I went through to get the PPP loan forgiven initially, and how at the end it all worked out and was really simple. So first, about my PPP loan. So I applied for the loan on April 26th. I was approved for two loans totaling about a little over $10,000, so $5,000 each for each loan. The first loan, the first draw, was approved and funded about a month later. So I put the loan in on the 24th of April and received the funds in my account on the 25th of May. So it took just over a month to get the funds in my account for the first draw. By that time, the PPP program had run out of money, so the second draw I didn't think I was going to get. I ultimately didn't get it. However, for some reason with Womply, which is the provider I used to apply for the loan, they say that I denied it. I'm looking into that to see if there's anything that I can do, but we've talked about Womply at length on the channel. You can check out Harry's video on that if you want to get more insight on Womply and why we no longer recommend that to help us with this. But I had some issues with that. But I immediately, once I got the money in my account, immediately started looking at ways and what I needed to do to get that money forgiven. So again, because I used Womply, I initially reached out to them through contact forms, emails. I found some phone numbers that never got answered. So I tried to get somebody at Womply. I never got in touch with a single person there, never got an answer on what to do for the forgiveness through them. So the only thing I could find was that you needed to reach out to your lender, which for me was Fountainhead. So I did the same thing I did for Womply: contact form, emails, phone numbers, kept trying to get in touch with someone, anyone, to try to find something. Nothing for well over a month. I couldn't get a hold of anyone, couldn't get them to respond back to any messages. Had a huge issue. I was getting a little concerned about the loan forgiven because one of the reasons we applied for the loan was because it essentially was supposed to be free money, and at this point it was seeming and feeling like it wasn't going to be, because I couldn't even get in touch with anyone to go about the process to get it forgiven. Finally, I got someone on the phone and explained, hey, I need to know, I got my loan. I gave him the information, explained how I just wanted to know what the process was, what I needed to do to get this loan forgiven. So this was sometime in June when this happened. I finally got someone on the phone, so a little over a month after finally getting the funding. And what they told me was that in the middle to end of August, that they would have a system set up so that we could apply through that system, and they would be reaching out to us at that time. Not to worry, that they would reach out to us when the time came. But I did take note of it, and on August 15th I had planned on reaching out again if I hadn't heard anything from them. So fast forward a little over a month, and the SBA portal is created to help those that have loans of $150,000 or less to be able to put that application in for forgiveness in 10 minutes or less. Now, we looked at a lot of those, and a lot of the banks were saying that they were going to use their own portal still because they didn't want to confuse their customers. And yet, I hadn't heard anything from Fountainhead, so here I was still concerned, trying to figure out what it was that I needed to do. Whether I needed to use this SBA portal or if I needed to go through Fountainhead, not sure. Finally, August 5th comes, and I get an email from Fountainhead. Then we're going to take a look at the email in just a second, but essentially saying this portal is in existence, this is what we're going to use. So let's take a look at this email they sent me. All of the emails supposedly come from Chris Hearn, the founder and CEO of Fountainhead. Great news, the SBA will now be handling PPP forgiveness directly on PPP loans of $150,000 and under. Since your loan fits this parameters, you will be applying through them instead of us, your lender. This will make things more streamlined for you and likely cut down on some of the waiting and for a forgiveness decision from SBA. The new streamlined forgiveness process will allow you to apply in less than 10 minutes. So, overly excited, finally getting some movement on the loan forgiveness. Now, after I had received this email, at first I was really excited, gonna get into the portal. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm really excited. Now I'm frustrated though, because after months of not hearing anything, trying to reach out to them, now not only did I get this email, I started getting 2 to 5 emails a day from Fountainhead telling me about this. So they went from complete radio silence to just overboard on everything, trying to get me to apply. Even after I had applied, they were still sending me emails on a regular basis, several of them a day, telling me that I needed to go in and apply. So it became kind of frustrating after months of getting nothing from them and trying to now getting so much information from them that I just couldn't. I was a little frustrated with it. But let's take a look at the portal. On August 5th, I initially just started recording, so some of this is really just me thinking about, well, I'm looking at things for the first time. So we'll look at that, and then we'll fast forward because I wasn't able to apply on that day, and I'll explain why afterwards. So let's take a look at this. All right, so I'm looking at the PPP loan, and exactly this is the portal. I just received an email from Fountainhead, which is the one that gave me my first draw on the PPP loan. This is the link, which is the direct SBA loan forgiveness link that they sent, the portal. I literally haven't looked at a thing, just clicked the button and popped it up here. So looking at it, we have forgiveness portal, register. So register to start your request. So please register an account with us. Already have an account, then sign in. I do not have an account, so I'm going to create one and we'll take it from there. So pretty straightforward. After I did the sign up, which was really simple, just username, email, and password, it says to send a confirmation email. After you have confirmed your email, it has you to put your phone number in, so we'll do that now. All right, so it was easy. They sent me a text message. Ironically, it was from the same number that I got my Womply code in, so that was kind of interesting. But it looks like from here, you can just click Start New Forgiveness Request. It looks pretty straightforward, so let's dive in. There's a Take Guided Tour. We could do that. Says, before you begin, ensure you will be authorized signer, which I am. Complete the request you'll need your PPP loan number that was originally signed, which is on the information you have, and your social security number. So seems pretty simple, straightforward. Let's get started. Start new forgiveness request. Social security number, PPP loan amount. So I'm going to go put that information in. So that was the first day that I got the portal, August 5th. I wasn't able to apply on that day because I had a question on there that I wasn't sure the answer of, and you probably will have the same question. So very simple questions on there, ones that you might have questions about. Number one is, how many employees did you have then? How many employees do you have now? As sole proprietors of our business, we count as an employee. So you will have one employee, unless you have something else that you do as well, that you have additional employees. But most of us, if not all of us, will have just one employee that we got the PPP loan, which is us as the owner. Now, my next question that I had was, it asks, how much did you spend on payroll? Now, we took the money as a owner's draw from the company. So technically, the answer is we spent zero on payroll. So my concern, though, was if I put that I spent zero on payroll, that it might not be forgiven. So there's local SBA numbers. You can look it up online to get some help with the SBA loan, and they're able to pull up your loan, ask you some additional questions to give you the information specific to your case. So I called the line for myself and explained I'm a rideshare driver, I'm the only employee, I'm the owner because I'm a sole proprietor, so I didn't technically have any payroll. I just took that money and paid myself as if I was driving for those weeks. And I was told that as long as I took the money and paid myself as because I'm the only employee in the business, that counts as payroll. So for that question, you put the total amount as the total amount that you spent on payroll. So that's what I did. I put that information in, click submit. In less than 10 minutes, not only did they get my submission for the forgiveness, but they also had given me the approval for my request for the forgiveness in less than 10 minutes. About a week later, I received an email saying that my bank had accepted the forgiveness funds and that I should download and print out a receipt for my records, which I did. So in really quick, once that portal came, it was really simple to get the PPP forgiveness accepted. Maybe, hopefully, you've had the same experience, not the waiting for months, but with the simplicity of that portal. Let us know what you've done, if you were able to get it forgiven. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Give us a thumbs up if you liked this video. It really helps us. Please subscribe to the channel. We have a new episode coming out every single week. And stay safe out there, everyone.